Hey everybody, so it's September 27th, 2024. It's about 3:35 a.m. and Hurricane Helene is knocking on our doorsteps right now. And I'm just locking the focus on this camera. That way I don't hunt while I'm out here shooting video. But yeah, so my last video clip, which I had published to YouTube just now, I shot it right after midnight and it was calm out here. The winds were totally calm, had some light rain at the time, but as you can see now, the winds are starting to kick up. And as I said in my previous video, the concern is all this rain we've already picked up. We've got over 5 inches of rain just from the moisture that's ahead of this thing, on top of an additional 3 inches from a thunderstorm the other day. So needless to say, the ground is very well saturated, and because of that, root systems for trees are already weakened as it is, and you combine that with tropical storm force winds, that's not going to be a good combination. So I was just out here posting a video clip for a Facebook story, and this sodium light out here went out, and most likely what caused that was a recloser on a adjacent circuit bumping or tripping due to a fault in the line. I've already seen it a couple of times tonight. Lights in the house flicker or dim out for a brief moment, but oh, this could be the worst one, the worst tropical system that we've had here in a while, and probably the worst one to get put up on YouTube since I started recording videos of storms. So, one concern I have is right across the street from me we got these pine trees, and the lot directly across from me, they cleared out the lot last year, and there's a few standing pine trees that were left over, and there's also a dead pine tree in the mix somewhere in there. And the thing is, if they fall, they'll definitely get across the road and they'll definitely get into my yard a good ways. Now if they take out the power lines, that remains to be seen. I do think because this power line, as you might be able to see, the power line kind of takes a shortcut across my front yard. Between pole to pole, this span rides closer to my house than it does to the street over here. So if any of these trees across the street come down, they probably will not reach the power line. But yeah, it's something I'm definitely concerned about. But I just recently put fresh batteries and cards in the storm cameras as well as my indoor south camera, and unlike Debbie, where my storm cameras, or at least storm cam 1, died halfway through the morning and storm cam 2 just died before the thing even got here, I'm hoping this time I'll get footage of the whole thing. But you might be able to see them pine trees. They are definitely swinging around. And like I say, this thing is not even here yet. Now the outer bands are starting to get us. That's what it is. The outer bands are starting to get us, and this thing is just racing up the coast, or not up the coast, but up the southeastern U.S. And as I think I discussed in my last video, there's one big concern about that is Hurricane Hugo came in from the South Carolina coast, and by the time it got to Charlotte, it was still a strong Cat 1 hurricane. I think we had wind gusts of 90 miles an hour here, and it really took a toll on the tree canopy in this area. This is before my time, but yeah, we've had some. I've experienced some tropical systems. I've never experienced it right hit, but one thing that's different about this one is the direction it's going. So it's going, at least the center is going to be west of us, that puts us in the area where you tend to have more tornadoes out of a tropical system. And that's another concern that I have, is the chance of tornadoes being more elevated. But yeah, I know I'm kind of repeating stuff I discussed in my previous video, but as you can see, things are definitely ramping up here. And I'm located in Huntersville, North Carolina, which is just north of Charlotte. Just to put in perspective where I'm at. Yes, a little nervous about this one. So what I'll do with this video is I'll post updates here and there. If we lose power, of course I won't be not be getting this uploaded to YouTube as soon, but we shall see what happens here. Yes, I'm just laying here in bed, and a few minutes ago the power blinked off and back on a few times. I think right down my street, I think there's a tree branch in the line that the recloser tripped and burned off. Yeah, I thought for sure that was the end of it. Then the lights came back on after that last one, and it was like, yeah. So far we still have lights, but that's my flashlight there. But yeah, I don't know for sure if we're gonna maintain power to this or not. But that was interesting. Laying here in bed to see my snake's light go out and hear the sound of an arc flash a few times. Crazy stuff. Okay, after trying to get some sleep this past night, this tropical storm is on its way out of here, thank goodness. But the winds are definitely whipping around like crazy, and you can see them pine trees are just whipping around. I took a moment to look back at one of my cameras I had going this last night, and those power blinks were actually caused by a fault on the main road. It wasn't this neighborhood here, but it was definitely loud. It was most likely a phase-to-phase fault. Basically, you would see the flash and the lights go out, and then you would hear the flash or the bang, kind of like lightning and thunder in a way. So it was on down the road just a little ways, but boy, these trees are really whipping in this wind. There are actually 2 pine trees across the street from me that I'm definitely concerned about. Number one is hard to see. It's that one right there. It's leaning out toward the road a little ways. I noticed that this past week it was already leaning, and I can't tell if it's leaning further toward the road. But yeah, that thing could definitely come down if it starts leaning further. It's just like the one we had last year on the main road that came down a few days after a bad storm we had back in August of last year. The other one I'm concerned about is this dead one, which is right there. You can definitely see it because obviously it looks different than the rest of them. But that one there obviously is weak because it's dead. I can see the mail was being delivered. On a side note, while at least right here, the impacts are not that bad. I mean, we got downed trees and power outages, but this down the road from here near Mountain Island Lake, we have a flash flood emergency going on because Mountain Island Lake is currently, I think, at 103.8 feet, something like that. It's almost 4 feet above full pond, which is really bad. Really, really bad. Because these winds are really kicking. Matter of fact, they seem to be kicking more now than they were when we had that power blink last night. So, I definitely can say we're not out of the woods yet as far as down trees and power lines. And that tree right there, that's the one that's leaning. That's the one I'm concerned about. I don't think it'll hit the power lines, but I'm concerned it could definitely come down. Okay, everybody, so it's Saturday night, the 28th, or it might be past midnight, I don't know for sure, but just want to mention that at least right here in this area, the effects of Helene were not too bad, mainly just down trees and some power outages, and luckily here we didn't lose power. Now I will say, when I was laying in bed as this storm was moving in, had a couple of power blinks and power flashes up the road from here on the main circuit, but luckily it came back on and it stayed on and didn't go out throughout the whole rest of this thing. But at least right here, no real bad damage. I mean, there were some trees that came down, but overall not too bad right here. And in case you're wondering, my zucchini plant actually survived. It's doing okay. But the big concern is this: just up the road from here, there have been mandatory evacuations in place due to flooding, because Mountain Island Lake is at near record heights right now. It's full pond. Height is 100 feet. It's currently at 107.8 feet. So that's, I want to say, 7 feet worth of water going over the spillway. And what that means is there's not only lakeside flooding happening not too far from here, but down past the dam for that lake, Mountain Island Lake, they also have had mandatory evacuations on certain streets right past the spillway, and let's just say there are homes that are almost completely underwater there. It's really bad. Really, really bad, actually. I feel really bad for those people, but the big story is west of my location, up in the mountains of North Carolina. The mountains in general, roads washed out. Matter of fact, towns even washed out. Matter of fact, Chimney Rock, downtown Chimney Rock, pretty much no longer exists. It got washed out. So yeah, really bad devastation up there. People hurt. People lost their lives in this. People are stranded. No power, no communications, no cell phone service, no internet. It's bad. It's really bad. Matter of fact, there are many ways that you could probably donate to help send relief to these areas. Do anything you can, at least throw some prayers for these people up in the mountains, because they really, really need it. I was just watching stuff on the internet just a little while ago. People scared, people can't find their loved ones, and it's heartbreaking, really. I'll say I'm really fortunate, because let's say even here, there are people who have had their power out for like 2 days now, and they're complaining about their lights not being on. All I can say to you is, you best be glad that the biggest inconvenience you have is not having power, because there's people right down the roof from here who wish they could have their house back the way it was before it got flooded. Like I say, it was really, really bad. Like I say, up in the mountains especially, the mountains, they got hit hard from this, and it's going to take a long time for them to recover. So, matter of fact, I've just remembered that Interstate 40, which goes up through the mountains, is closed at I-77 in Statesville, because they're not wanting people to travel into the mountains. They're saying no traveling into western North Carolina. It's really that bad. And in case you're wondering about the video footage, all of my cameras did in fact record to this, and I put my camera right here in the computer room, like I usually do when there's bad storms. Now, seriously thinking about posting the entire footage from beginning to end, which is going to probably be 7 or 8 hours worth. I'm going to do it from one camera, and that'll be Stormcam 1. I like the footage that came from Stormcam 1. I think it's like the best in a way, and I'll be posting it up on YouTube, so definitely be looking forward to that. But this coming week I'm going to try to get caught up on getting my storms posted, because I got storm footage going back to the middle of July that's still waiting to be posted on YouTube. There's a shooting process, and then there's the editing and uploading process. So it definitely takes time, and due to the situation I've been going through this summer, I've just taken a break from YouTube for a little while from both my channels. This channel is all a QQ channel, and hopefully sooner or later I'll get back into things. But yes, in case you're wondering about me, I'm doing okay. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for people up in the North Carolina mountains. It's really bad up there, and there's talks, like I say, there's just rumors and talks. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but they're saying that there are possibly the chances of having some more waves come off the Gulf Coast, similar to what Helene did sometime in October. So what we need is another one. It's like I say, Florida. Man, Florida and Georgia got hit very hard. When you look at the power outage map, let's say poweroutage.us, you can see the path that Helene took based off just the power outages. Because, like I say, it wreaked havoc on the electrical system. But anyways, the reason why I didn't shoot a video yesterday because I was so tired. I did not sleep well at all during the storm. Well, because every 5 or 10 minutes it seemed like my phone was going off. I did not want to turn off emergency alerts on my phone because there was the risk of tornadoes, and I did want to get alerted if there was a tornado warning. But left and right there were pop-ups and my phone going off from flash flood emergencies taking place at Mountain Island Lake and the Catawba River just down from Mountain Island Lake. Like I say, you don't have to go far to see devastation here. Just right up the road. Areas flooded out. But anyways, just wanted to give y'all guys this update. So anyways, I'll be posting the video footage of Helene soon, as well as footage from Debbie, as well as storms that we've had this summer. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And definitely keep the people of Western North Carolina, as well as Florida and Georgia and Tennessee and other states nearby in your thoughts and prayers.